everyone. Now we're actually going to do a design for a newspaper publication I saw. I saw this on Business Day, and I felt that it's something that we can actually lay our hands on. I must have cut out some parts, but let's just have this as it is now, and let's quickly do this. Okay, now the first thing that I want to first look at is the text and the way it is being arranged, and the logos, some of the images. So that's the first thing I want to do. And whenever I run designs like this, I also want to consider those things I don't have, so I first get them. Now I already have those files here, the ones I downloaded. They might not be exactly, or something close like, so we can just lay our hands on and do something like this. So I'm going to resize this because I'm just going to be referring to it for reference purposes. I'm going to bring this down, and then I make sure that I always check back to confirm that I'm doing the right thing. So I already have the images here, so I'm going to bring this in. So this is what I downloaded from the net, and I'm going to just set it down here while trying to just remember, okay, this is how it is on the design I'm trying to replicate. So most times I want to look at it again and say, okay, this is fine. I also have the Africa logo that I've downloaded, so I have this. I'm going to try to increase this again, and what I do is I would just zoom out a bit, try and increase this again, and try to place it well perfectly. Then the Africa logo, I'm just going to reduce it and see what I have. I have Africa Business Convention, and that's the next thing I want to create. That's the next text I want to create. So I'm going to go create my text, and actually going to a text very similar to it, and I'm going to look for a text. So let me use multi serif bold. So I have Africa Business and then enter convention. So I'm going to make sure that this is centralized, and let's try to bring it out here. Okay, so Africa has to be in the middle, and a business convention is like this. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this text is actually the line spacing between those texts is actually properly fixed. So I'm going to do edit. I'm going to I'm on properties. I'm going to look at line spacing. I'm first just reduce this. Let's say 97 is okay. So I have something like this, and I would try to also reduce it again. I'm going to 80. It is okay for me. Okay, so I have Africa Business Convention, and the next thing I want to do is I want to create Africa Proactive. Now this is the next thing, is to just create the theme and Africa Proactive. So I'm still going to come back to this, but just to make sure that I have my design properly set. Let me look at this. Okay, this looks more like it, and then I want to reduce my letter spacing. So I have -7. Oh, this is so it's just more of you trying to lay your hands on what is perfect. So I'm going to reduce this again, and then I think I can just leave this like that. Now I want to bring up the image again to confirm. Okay, so I have this, and the next thing I want to do is set up the theme Africa Proactive. So I'm going to write Africa Proactive. So I have this now, and I need to also get the fonts, the look-alike font, and I'm actually just going to scroll through to get a font that is very close. So I have Africa Proactive. Fine for me. I'm going to my text, and I'm going to change my text top and text bottom to white. So this has to be white, and notice that the text is left aligned, so I'm going to make it left aligned. Africa Proactive. I want to move this up again to check. Okay, so I'm on course. My font don't just look exactly, so I need to try and get the exact font like the one there. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to add an outline, but I'm going to make sure that this outline too is white. So let's make this 20. So I have something like this, and then I'm going to my line spacing. I'm going to increase my letter spacing a bit. But I'll notice that on this the image is blur. It's blur in the sense that it's a bit darker. So what I'm going to do from now is, so that I get the perfect image, I'm going to create a shape fill and make sure that my shape fill is black. So just watch. So I have this shape fill and I'm going to lay it on the image itself. Notice what I'm doing on the image itself, and I'm going to out overlay, and I'm going to bring this exactly on the image alone so that my text can appear. Now I'm doing this because I want to make sure that this image is blur. I can use two ways. Now let's just take it like this. So I'm going to go to my settings here and go to opacity for the shape fill, and then reduce the opacity. I need to make sure that I'm working on the opacity of the image, so of the shape. So I'm clicking on the shape, I'm going to opacity, and then I'm reducing it so that my image can properly appear. So you see what I've done now, and I need to make sure that I move this shape exactly on the image so that part is covered. Okay, so we can continue then. So Africa Proactive, and I'm moving this. Okay, I have my theme. I'm going to create a what now? A shape again, and the color of this my shape must be red. Like I said, let me move this. So I have red, and then apply. Now you would notice that my shape is blur, and that's because every settings I do previously must be returned back to the default. The settings must be returned back to default. So what I do is I go back and then click on opacity, increase back my opacity, then I have my shape fill now is back to normal. So in the habit, I'm just going to go and get my theme, my text theme. So theme, I think it's in block letters. So theme, and then on apply. Remember, I have my outlines, so I'm going to remove it. Apply, then reduce these. Try to zoom in. Place my theme perfectly on this. Try to see what I have. Okay, I'm going to reduce the text size again. So all of this is just to make sure that I have the proper shape and text sitting right on the shape, and just to make sure that this is perfect. Now I want to group them. I'm going to select button, my red, and then the theme, and then I'm going to click on this side and click on the group layers. So I'm going to reduce it. I'm going to reduce this. I have theme, and then the next thing I want to do is I want to bring this out and see. Okay, I'm on track. The next thing I want to do is I put the date 9 February 2021. I'm going to do this 9 February. I'm going to click on apply. I'm going to reduce this. For designing, you have to be very, very cautious of what you are saying. You have to be very, very, very cautious of what you are saying. And I mean this because let me just increase this outline, then we'll go back to it. I'm going to make sure that this outline is 15. Okay. I mean this because when you look at the lines here, the date here, you notice that 9 February is bold. then the remaining ones 2021 they are not. So you must make sure that when you are replicating something, you replicate accordingly. So I'm going to make sure that it follows this pattern. And then 9 February, I think I left out the comma. I'm going to put comma, apply. And then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to 2021. So let's do that. 10 a.m. virtual 2021. Then AM. I'm going to make virtual, apply, and this is what I have. So I'm going to reduce this also, and then this is what I have. I'm going to make sure that this is not as thick, not as bold. Let me use the word bold is better as the former. So I'm going to click on apply, removing the outline, making sure they're not the same. And then let me just get another lighter text. So I'm going to use Noto Serif regular for this, and then this is perfect. I'm going to make sure that they are both on this, and then take up this to just look at it. I think I need to go back to my shape, yes, my shape field, and then try to increase the opacity a bit. So what we're just doing is laying our hands on that design and trying to replicate it to see what we can come out of it, even with what we have. But I notice that this my text has to come up a bit higher. So what I do most times is I try to look at the date, the text, and go to edit. I go to etc and check this text size. Look at text size, is 135. I click on apply. I come back to the second one. That's the other one that I wrote. I click edit, go to etc, and my text size is 126. So I just increase that to 135. So I have the same. So there's no disparity in the text size. So I have the same text. Now we're done with our designs, but I'm just going to try and make sure that everything is properly set, and maybe take a look at it for the last time and see if I missed out anything. So it's perfect. I hope you can replicate this. Thank you.